Hello, and before we get into the video, I want to give a shout out to Gems Live for giving me the video idea and giving me permission to make this video. He made the same video. Go check it out. It's right here. It's right here. He's a great YouTuber, has a lot of great takes. So if you like this video, go check him out. Alright, let's get into the video. Hello, welcome back to another video. I'm your host, Isaiah, as always. And today we're going to be doing the bold takes for every single NFL team, all 32 of them. If I say something that offends your team, please don't be too hard in the comments. Okay, let's get into it. For the Bills, I don't think Von Miller has over 10 sacks this season. Aaron Donald makes players get more sacks. His presence is key. Von Miller now has to step in. He's over 30 years old. I don't know. Something about it. I know he had a really good postseason, but being the number one guy, I just don't think he's going to get those 10 plus sacks. On to my Dolphins. We're going to have a very fun offense. I think everyone knows that, but we'll still miss the playoffs. Sorry, Dolphins fans. This guy is going to be what's holding us back. If we don't make the playoffs this year, I think we should draft a quarterback. Okay, with the Jets, I can't believe I'm saying this, but the Jets are not winning more than 5 games. I don't care about a good draft. I don't know where this narrative has come. The Jets have become overrated. You can clip this right now, and if the Jets are in the playoffs next year, you can quote me on this. If the Jets become the next Bengals, you can quote me on this. They don't win more than 5 games. They have a bunch of inexperienced players, a bunch of holes on that team. I'm not a big Zach Wilson guy either. So, yeah. Patriots are going to like this one. Patriots are going to have a losing season. They have lack of talent. Their secondary is a very weak secondary. Very weak receiving core. They have good tight ends, I'll give them that, and a good running back, and a good O-line. But their D-line has questions. I do like Matt Judon, though. Linebacking core is eh. And in a stacked AFC, I think they're a bottom 5 team in the AFC. And they're going to have another losing season. Eagles. They don't sweep a single team in their division. I know that sounds crazy, but it's something the Eagles are prone at doing. I don't care how good they are. I don't think for some reason, I feel like the Giants in Washington are going to get the better of them one time. Cowboys, Micah Parsons in just a second year wins Defensive Player of the Year. And I know that's a stretch, but if you watch my NFL Top 100 video, I said this guy is probably the greatest player in football ever. And I think in his second year, he can just go out and win Defensive Player of the Year. I mean, do you see this guy? Commanders, J.D. McKissic becomes a starter before the end of the year. Antonio Gibson has a fumbling problem, and they clearly said that his touches are going to be on a week-to-week basis. I think J.D. McKissic is a better running back. I think he has an overall better skill set, and I think he's going to, by the end of the year, he's going to get those games that he's going to get some carries, and eventually he'll be number 1 on that depth chart. Giants, Daniel Jones finishes top 3 in rushing yards among all QBs. So Brian Dable had Josh Allen. Josh Allen was a very good running quarterback. Daniel Jones is surprisingly fast and athletic. See where I'm going with this? Yeah, I think Brian Dable gets some good plays for Daniel Jones to get a lot of yards. I don't think the Giants are going to be good. If you couldn't tell, this list is based on where I think they're going to finish in the division. I'm doing it division by division. And I think they're going to finish last in the division. But I do think Daniel Jones, if you heard a popping sound, sorry. I do think Daniel Jones will finish top 3 in rushing yards among all the quarterbacks. For the Chargers, J.C. Jackson has the best year of any cornerback and takes Ramsey's spot as the best corner in the league. I don't think it's too far out to say. If you saw my war prediction videos, I had him at 5th for Defensive Player of the Year candidate. I think he's that good. And I think with a lot more help, better D-line, Derwin James back there, Asante Samuel. I think him and Asante Samuel are going to make a deadly cornerback too. I think this is your future best cornerback in the league. Chiefs, they'll be fine. They will be fine without Hill. They have these two guys right here. Best quarterback, best coach duo, and they'll secure a playoff berth easily. For Raiders, Derek Carr will be in the MVP conversation. I think he's got everything around him. I think he's got the talent. So I think if you watch my award predictions, he finished 5th among MVP votes. So I think he will be an MVP candidate. And for the Broncos, it's kind of a hot take. They will finish last in the division. I don't like the receiving core. I think it's overrated. Their front seven is awful. Bradley Chubb is a liability. And people don't realize that. Actually, look at Bradley Chubb's stats, and it's, like, bad. I do like Javonte Williams and Melvin Gordon. I am actually a big Alberto fan. I'm not even going to try to pronounce his name. The O-line's pretty strong, but, like, front seven is bad. I do like the secondary, though. PS2 is going to be fantastic. But I still think they finished last in the division. Russ is an inconsistent quarterback. I think he's going to have those games where he's not going to play well. They're going to get upset, and you cannot afford to do that, especially in their division. Rams, they do not win the NFC West. I think I want to get this out of the way. The reason I did this in order, but I really wanted to get this one out the way. They don't win the NFC West. I think a little bit of a Super Bowl hangover might happen. I think they lost some pretty good players, some pretty key players, including Odell, Sebastian Joseph Day. I don't think they win the NFC West. You want to know who I think? This team right here. Trey Lance leads the 49ers to a top 5 record in the league. I don't know where this agenda is being pushed that the Niners won't even be a playoff team next year. I think that's ridiculous. I am under the impression, I think Trey Lance is going to be great, by the way. I'm under the impression that he has to play god awful for the Niners to not make the playoff. Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk is a great receiver duo. Elijah Mitchell's also great. Kyle Juszczyk is the best fullback in the league. Trent Williams is the best tackle in the league. And Fred Warner is the best linebacker in the league. I think we're noticing a trend here. Nick Bosa is one of the best edge rushers in the league. Yeah, I think we notice a pattern here. They are very loaded from top to bottom. I think their only weakness is really their secondary, but I don't even think it's that bad. I think it's like mid. Which, when you have that kind of front seven, you could afford to have a mid-secondary. The Bucs did it and won a Super Bowl. The Niners can easily do it as well. Cardinals. Kyler Murray will have his worst season since his rookie year. No D-Hop. And I don't like the Cardinals. I really don't think they're going to be good. And I think Kyler Murray's going to have even after getting that contract extension, I just don't expect to see anything out of him. I mean, I'll expect to see flashy plays, but, I don't know. He's had some pretty mediocre seasons, and I don't think this one is going to be the step in the right direction. I think it's going to be a step in the wrong direction. And Seahawks, Rashad Penny will finish top 10 in rushing yards and touchdowns. Let's go down the list. Bad quarterback play. Run-heavy offense. They stacked him on the offensive line. And Rashad Penny is an absolute beast. You need to look at Rashad Penny's end of the season stats, and he was a lights out. He was playing fantastic. You know what you can do? There's two easy solutions. You go to Google and you look up Rashad Penny stats, and you look at the second half of the season. Or you go on your little fantasy app that I know you have. You go to last season, you look at Rashad Penny stats, and you look at the halfway through the season. Rashad Penny at the end of the season played phenomenal. And I think by the end of this year, everyone's going to have him in his top 10, in their top 10. And he's going to finish top 10 in both rushing yards and touchdowns. Ravens. Lamar Jackson will lead the Ravens to an AFC North title and a playoff win. I understand why people think the Bengals, but I think the Bengals have their flaws. Yeah. And I think the Ravens they lost their best receiver. I don't care, honestly. Good O-line. J.K. Dobbins is a beast. Lamar Jackson is a elite level quarterback. Mark Andrews is a great tight end. And have you seen that secondary? I also believe in Kyle Hamilton a lot. So, yeah. Bengals, they barely make the playoffs, if they even make it. I've been doing a lot of predictions, and they might not even make it. And even if they do, they're going to get eliminated in the first round. They're going to experience a Super Bowl hangover. They have a lot of problems on that team. Their secondary is iffy. I actually do like their front seven, but yeah. The O-line, although it got better, how much better? They added a bunch of mid players to the line. So yeah. Browns turned the season around after Watt's suspension, but still come one game short of playoff berth. So I made this list before I watched the Browns preseason game. I might not agree on this anymore because Watson looked bad, but I'm gonna stick with it. I think after if this okay, I'll give you another bold take. If that's not the take, then Nick Chubb will. If Watson is suspended for the entire season, Nick Chubb will lead the league in rushing touchdowns. There's your bold take right there. But if he does, I think that he's gonna put a little spark in that Browns offense. But I think he should play? No. This is weird. Okay, I'm sorry. This one's weird. It's supposed to say Mitch Trubisky doesn't play bad enough that he doesn't get benched for Pega during. So let me just say it in my own words. Trubisky isn't gonna play bad enough. Trubisky doesn't play bad enough for the Steelers to bench him. I think Pickett's gonna sit behind him for an entire season. Pickett will start next season though. For the Packers, I will never continue to stop pushing this narrative that Christian Watson is an offensive rookie of the year. He's fantastic, has an amazing skill set, and he has Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers can make any receiver look good. Vikings. Kirk Cousins doesn't perform up to standards, and the Vikings draft a QB next draft. Next draft has a lot of talent in it, and I think that Kirk disappoints. And the Vikings miss the playoffs. Very sad. Oh yeah, and then he gets replaced. Sorry, Kirk fans. Lions, they finished with a top 3 O-line. I like Penei Sewell, I like Frank Ragnow, I like everything they got there. And I think that's all I'm going to say. Bears fans aren't going to like this one. Trust me, I've had some experience with some Bears fans. They do not like it when you say this. They will be tied at the worst record in the NFL. Not second worst, not third worst. No, they're going to be tied with the worst. I'm not going to say who has the worst because I would feel bad. But Bears fans want to make it a point to tell you that their team's gotten better. It hasn't. You're about to lose Roquan Smith as well. You haven't helped Justin Fields. His receiving core got worse when it's just Darnell Mooney, Byron Pringle, and Equanimeous St. Brown. I've literally only know him because of Weddle. The NFL Wordle. Yes. David Montgomery is, like, decent as a running back. But, like, I look at this team, and they're bad. They're really bad. Alright, we can move on now. For the Colts, they win the division, but they look like a much worse team. Also, I use a picture of Shaquille Leonard as an excuse to say Shaquille Leonard. Okay? But they will look like a worse team than they were last year. And if you guys watch my older videos, I did say the Colts were a top 5 team in the league. I don't want to talk about it, okay? This was when they were on that hot streak, though. I said that they were a top 5 team in the league. And, well, they didn't end the season too hot. But that's okay. They'll look like a worse team this season, they'll still win the division. That takes me to the Titans, who will finish with a below 500 record. I always hear their biggest defenders say, oh, they had all the injuries, so they'll be fine. I don't like Ryan Tannehill. He's not very good. Treylon Burks is... I'm not a huge Treylon Burks guy. Nor am I mean, Robert Woods is alright. I don't know. They don't scream anything to me. They just scream mid. Jaguars. Travis Etienne breaks down and allows Trevor Lawrence to have a positive touchdown to interception ratio. I don't think Trevor Lawrence having a positive touchdown to interception ratio is going to be a surprise. But I think Travis Etienne is going to be the only good thing Urban Myers has ever done. I think he's going to have a really good year. Him and Lawrence are going to build that connection. Texans. Davis Mills is going to play well enough to keep his starting job. Texans are going to be a bottom-feeding team, but I think Davis Mills is going to keep fighting them to the point that when they have that top 5 pick in the draft, they'll think twice before taking a quarterback, and I think they'll keep Davis Mills. Buccaneers. Mike Evans finishes top 5 in yards, and I'm not just saying this because he's on my fantasy team. no Chris Godwin, no AB. Julio's injury prone, Russell Gage. And he has Tom Brady. I lost my train of thought, but got Tom Brady. And I think I'm gonna move on because I lost my train of thought, like I said. The Saints will finish with a top 5 defense of the league. I like everything they got going there. I think Marcus Mays is underrated. Tyrann Mathieu, although a bit overrated, still a pretty good safety. Lattimore is good. I wish they kept. He's right there. I wish they kept PJ Williams, but you know. And Cameron Jordan's great, so you know, everything you want out of a good defense. Matt Corral will finish the season as the Panthers' starting quarterback. They're gonna be fed up with Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield. Plug in the rookie. By like week 14, we're gonna have the Matt Corral show. Kyle Pitts will put up worse production. I've heard this thing where Kyle Pitts gonna have a second year like breakout. No. More put it in perspective. There's more competition and a worse quarterback. If you want to put up a lot of numbers, that is not a good situation to be in. Drake London is going to take targets that he would have otherwise, and Marcus Mariota is not a good quarterback. I don't care what people say about him. He's not good. And that's the end of the video. Please make sure you like, subscribe, and the notification bell, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.